So many Democrats are struggling to get noticed, right? But one candidate has no problem at all, and that's former Vice President and professional tickle monster Joe Biden. Yesterday, he kicked off his campaign with a rally outside Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Joe Biden at the first rally of his 2020 campaign, surrounded by labor union supporters in battleground Pennsylvania.
The major moral obligation of our time is to restore, rebuild, and respect the backbone of America, the middle class. The stock market is roaring, but you don't feel it. I make no apologies. I am a union man, period.
I am a union man. It's a good campaign line and a terrible Marvel superhero. How are we gonna stop Thanos? I don't know, but I got Marvel to give us free dental coverage. And although Biden may be zeroing in on one voting bloc in particular, he's not forgetting the rest of the country.
Choose hope over fear, unity over division. We always do better when we act as one America. Donald Trump is the only president who's decided not to represent the whole country. The president has his base. We need a president who works for all Americans.
Yes, that's where America has gotten to. Candidates now have to promise, if they get the job, they'll be the president of the whole country. It's crazy, because thanks to Trump, that's not a foregone conclusion anymore. You realize that? Because he got into the White House and he was like, California, suck a fat dick. New York, same to you. All the people who voted for Hillary, suck my balls. Wisconsin, see you Friday. Florida, every Friday, baby, yeah. So Biden's first speech seemed like it was hitting all the right notes, was connecting with all the people, but there was one thing that keen observers noticed. The former vice president was a little out of practice when it came to saying words.
I think we have to rethink how we define what constitutes a successful economy. They see workers as just a means to an end, not the end in themselves. The same is happening in big hospital systems. For the United Food and Commercial Workers in Boston. Medical research to conquer devastating diseases like cancer. The UAW took incredible cuts in their future. The country wasn't built by Wall Street bankers, CEOs, and hedge fund managers. It was built by you.
The hedge fund managers? Oh man, Joe Biden. It's one thing to mess up in the middle of a sentence. It's another thing to stumble when you're trying to rally the troops. It loses all energy. Can you imagine if King Leonidas slipped up like that? It would have changed 300 forever. This is Splendor! Sparta! I meant Sparta. Guys, I totally said Sparta. I said, why are you opening the gate? You can't surrender. What do we do now? We're gonna train dragons. What are we doing now? That's why Trump has a huge advantage over every other candidate. Have you noticed when he makes a mistake, he doesn't let it trip him up. He just creates a new reality and he plows right through. Yeah. Because if he did that, he'd be like, this country wasn't built by hedge fund managers and hedge fund managers, which is also a thing, hedge funds. People forget about Hudge, but not me. I know all about Hudge. Vanessa Hudgens, Jabba the Hutt, Sonic the Hedgehog. So much Hudges. And look, obviously all politicians misspeak sometimes, right? But because Trump has started a narrative that Biden is old and losing his wits, Biden can't afford any slip-ups. Literally, every day, on Twitter, Trump is calling Biden Sleepy Joe. That's his nickname for him, which is weird, you have to admit. No, it's like a strange slam. Sleeping is just a basic human function. And you're like, oh, look at him, he sleeps. What? I will say this, though. If Joe Biden goes up against Trump, I can't wait to see those attack ads.
Joe Biden says he wants to be your president, but is he too sleepy for the job?
I'm so sick and tired.
President Trump is never tired. At 3 a.m., when Joe Biden and other babies are in bed snoozing, Donald Trump is tweeting about CNN's low ratings. So in 2020, ask yourself, do we want a commander-in-chief who goes to bed at night? Or do we want a real man?
I'm Donald Trump. I haven't slept in 9 days, and I approve this message.